And all that fighting, that internal fighting you've been doing, just reconstructing yourself to be the best you that you can be.
Live my best life, man.
Yeah, sir. It brought you to the space where you are right now, and I like to hear that. I like to hear that things were always bad, and then things didn't really take a left like 3-4 years ago when you're going through it, because a lot of like unfortunate shit could happen.
A lot, bro. Like,
yeah,
shit could have went left so many times. It's just, I don't know. I was just lucky.
Mm-hmm.
I was just really lucky.
Yeah.
Like, I'll give you a really fucked up story. There's only one time in my life where I actually wanted to like sell my soul. I was like, I'm done with I'm done with this bullshit. I'm tired of fucking praying to a God that doesn't give a fuck about me, who's always putting me through shit. Like, I want to be rich. I want to make music. I'm good at it. I'm gonna fucking do this. And I was fucking with the guy, Chucky. I was fucking with this guy who was the devil. Like, he was a demonic fucking spirit. Like, you just felt that type of energy from this dude. And he had a studio link, and he was fucking clouded up on Twitter, man. Like 500K on Twitter, and it was like 2012. Like, this nigga was up. And I was like, if I can get in the studio with this dude, get high, whatever, freestyle, drop a fucking banger. Because for some reason I knew, I was like, I'm in my pocket right now. I could do this. Like, there's something going on in my head where it's like, I'm just a different nigga right now. Like, I'm not me. I can do something crazy. And if I get in the studio with this dude and we drop it and he promotes it, we're gonna blow the fuck up. And why my relationship with God is so tight is when that night we were supposed to go to the studio and record, we picked up his boy to get grabba, and we're driving back to his boy's crib, his next nigga's crib with the studio. We seen this dude on the street, and this nigga had a fat chain. Like, this shit was like fucking 11 at night. It was dark. There was no lights on the road, and this chain was just shining. It was just him and his girl. And Chucky's in the back, and he's like, yo, you see that chain, bro? Yo, let's go take that, bro. Let's go rob it. And one of my boys' best friend, my white nigga's driving. And his boy, Chucky's boy is like, yeah, let's go take that. Let's go drop that. And I'm quiet. Because I'm like, bro, I'm not trying to do this right now. Like, I just want to go in the studio, make some music, blow up, and go home and sleep. You know what I mean? And I'm over here thinking, like, my white friend is going to be, like, the voice of reason. Yeah. He's going to be like, no, guys, like, you can't do that, man. Like, I don't want to get involved. Like, something could happen. This stupid ass nigga is like, yeah, let's go do it. Let's go fucking, yeah. I'm like, bro, so I was sitting there like, all right, fuck it. Like, there's 3 niggas. We got a getaway driver. Fuck it. Let's get it popping. So we all hop out the whip. My boy skirts around the corner. We must have waited out in front of that convenience store for like 30 minutes, bro. It was the longest time. Had my black hoodie up, whatever. He leaves the store. He's walking out. So I'm like, yo, let's go walk up on him. So we're walking, and we're in the middle of a street. There's no lights, nothing. And this white van is coming. And as soon as this white van passes, I go, yo, as soon as this white van passes, let's all run up on him and take a shit. So they're like, yeah, cool. I'm like, all right, bet. So the white van passes. I start walking up. I don't even look behind me. I just assume these niggas are with me. So I'm walking up. And he turns around. He's like, what's popping? I'm like, what's popping, nigga? I just start hooking him. I start laying into him. Just boom, his fist box in his head. And he's punching me. And he's punching my arm. And it feels like he's punching my arm. And I'm like, as I'm fucking this dude up, I'm like, why is he punching my arm? Like, wouldn't you try to swing for my face too? Like, I'm expecting to get hit in the jaw, but he just keeps punching my arm. And then I look behind me, and these 2 niggas are standing there watching me fight this dude. And I'm like, yo! And I scream, like, what the fuck? And they run up, like, and they run up. And I let go of him when I screamed, and he took off. And Chucky runs up, and he picks up the knife, and he's like, yo, you dropped your hawk, fam. And I'm like, hawk? Like, the fuck's this nigga talking about? And I'm like, yo, why's my arm wet, nigga? Like, what the fuck, nigga? I'm like, yo, this nigga stabbed me, bro. This nigga stabbed me. So my boy pulls up in the whip, and I get in the car, and I'm like, yo, he stabbed me, bro. And he's like, yo, he stabbed you? And I'm like, yeah, bro. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I felt like 50 Cent. Like, I just sat in the car. I was just looking out the window, like, yo, this nigga just stabbed me, bro. And I felt like a gangster. I was in the car, like, yo, nigga. And then when I get out the car, I'm like, woo, like everything hits me. Like I can't see. Like everything's room is spinning. I start puking and shit. And my boy patched me up, put me in a fucking, ripped off my shirt, put me in a fucking sling, and just like, you know what I mean, took me to the hospital, and like saved my life. Literally, if it wasn't for him, I would have died that night. Like I have like half a lung type shit.
Oh shit.
And the moral of that story is I was ready to give it all up. I was ready to say, fuck my life. I'm selling my soul. I'm forsaking my fucking, I'm forsaking my beliefs, and I'm chasing something that I know is evil, but I didn't give a fuck. And because I made that decision, that whole situation happened. And because that whole situation happened, it forced me to cut down on the drugs. Mm-hmm. Like, I kept doing a lot of drugs after that, but the more I smoked, I could feel it in my side. Mm-hmm. So I was like, yo, I gotta, like, you know what I mean? I gotta chill, because if I don't stop, I'm a fucking collapse my lung again, and I'm a dead ass die, because you can't have one lung, like, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So I'm a dead ass die type shit. And like, that whole situation pushed me into another place of depression, but it also helped me shape my mind and think like, yo, everything dead ass happens for a reason. Because like, I was ready to give it all up, and because of the way that whole situation played out, I never fucking talked to that dude again. I never fucked with those niggas again. And it just put me in a whole new mind state where it was like, that was like 2014. I was still in high school. I was like 17. Yeah. It was like 2013. I was like 17, turning 18. And like, that whole thing like shaped my mind and the way I think. And like, I was like depressed as fuck. Mm-hmm. But again, it just slowly made me like, you know what I mean? Just move in a different direction. Because imagine if we didn't rob that nigga and I didn't get stabbed, and I could do all the drugs and smoke all the weed I want and not feel that pain in my side. I would have never quit smoking weed. Yeah,
imagine if they never, robbed the fact of robbing a dude. Facts. You guys went straight to the studio. Facts. And you promoted and you guys blew up.
Facts. That's
imagine
what I mean,
that.
Bro. Facts. It's crazy, bro. Like, the way life works, fam. That you said something. I forgot what you said, but you said something about like, I don't know. Literally everything happens for a reason, bro. Yeah. Like, it's crazy. Like that whole situation, it literally shaped who I am right now. You know what I mean? And I'm not bragging about getting stabbed. I'm just giving the example of like, everything happens for a reason, bro. Mm-hmm. Don't look at something like, oh, my life sucks. God's trying to kill me. I got stabbed. Blah, blah, blah. Like, my life is the worst. I'm so depressed. Blah. It's like, no, like, I looked at it in a way where it was like, at first I was thinking like that, but after a while I started to dawn in on me that like, because I have a very addictive personality. Like, I'm an addict. Like, firsthand, like, I know what it feels like to be an addict. Yeah. And at that time, I wanted to quit smoking weed for the longest time, and I couldn't stop. Like, I just always was like fiending for that high. I want to get high. I want to get high. I want to get high. I want to pop pills. I want to be this. I want to do that. And because of that, it was like a physical, uncomfortable feeling now. So every time I would smoke, I would literally, every time I was high, I would feel uncomfortable on the right side of my body, like by my ribs. And it was like, I hate feeling like this, so I'm just going to stop smoking weed. And once I stopped smoking, that's when the music started popping. Yeah. That's when everything started changing. Like, my whole life started getting better. Like, I started, cutting off bad people, fucking with new people. You know what I mean? Music started doing better. Like, my mind was getting in a better place. It was like, everybody has their vice. Everybody has their apple in the Garden of Eden. That's like, this is what it's going to do to you, and you have to learn how to live without it. Mm-hmm. I'm not saying it's weed for everybody, but for me, it was weed. Mm-hmm. I still do mushrooms. I just don't smoke. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, mushrooms is a good thing. It's like, that's the only drug I recommend to people. Mm-hmm. I would never say do Xans, perks, cocaine, nothing. But mushrooms, to me, are not a drug. They're like a tool. You know what I mean? Like, you do them once in a while when you're in a good place with good people, and it gives you a different outlook on life. It really does. It changes the way you think. You know what I mean? It gives you a different perspective on what's around you, and it helps you to grow. But yeah.
Yeah. Hey, man, I really like that.
No, it's cool, man. It's real.
Damn, like that right there. No, that shows a pivotal moment in someone's life when shit just goes different, and it went for the better. I mean, it was a bad situation that changed you for the better, man.
Facts.
And now you're putting out music that people can hear and see and feel. And it's speaking to a generation. Yeah, man. Real inspirational, Dre.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it, man. That was good.
Man,